So hi guys, how are you? If you're seeing this video, it means I'm finally back at home in Namibia, where I've been away for a very long time and I ran into some problems. Yeah, you don't want to run into problems into a foreign country, guys. So I'm shooting this intro in the Cape Town International Airport. I've actually mixed feelings about being here because I missed my flight. That can easily be blamed on me, and that's not the point. I was in the airport that day. I wasn't like super late or anything, but I didn't get the help I'd hoped to get. So I ended up remaining in South Africa for like 6 or 5 more days. So I'm just here and I'm literally having flashbacks of me having to run up and down the stairs just looking for help, and no one was willing to help me. I'll obviously like back it up a little bit. I'll tell you the story of what happened and why I was here even in the first place, how I was panicking, how I couldn't. Lord, obviously, guys. Let me just breathe. But anyways, I'm waiting for my plane home. So yeah, like I said, if you're watching this, it means I've gotten home safely. So I've caught my breath. I was in South Africa for an African Youth Summit. This summit is organized by an international organization called Global Changemakers. I was actually posting it a lot on my social media. I was very, very excited. I'm still excited about it. I mean, outside of what really happened after the summit, I'm still very, very excited about it. So, I don't know if you can hear me well, but I'm trying to just shoot this video now while I'm in the airport, because as soon as I get home, it's really back to everything that hasn't been on hold waiting for me. So I was chosen as part of the 50 young people from all over the African continent who applied. There's an application you go through. You must be between the ages of 21 and 29, and you must be doing something impactful in your community. And this should feed into the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So it was really quite an honor to have been recognized by an international body or international organization to be seen as a global change maker, working into things like mental health, education, water and sanitation. These are like SDGs, of course, but at the end of the day, they have an impact whether it's locally or globally. And I was amongst some of the best on the continent here in South Africa. So we came here. It was like that once in a lifetime opportunity. All expenses were paid, flights, accommodations, even food. So all I needed was to pick up my passport and go to the airport. And why wouldn't I be excited about that? And on top of that, it was actually a leadership type of setting where you meet leaders and people who have already done this initiative. You get exposure, you get trained, you get inspired, you get motivated, you get uplifted. Something that doesn't really happen on a daily basis, especially personally for myself. I mean, I do all these things. Even having this YouTube channel is part of my efforts, just trying to do something impactful and meaningful in the community. But I actually never had like training or guidance or mentorship on like, this is actually how you do things, this is how you run successful campaigns or community impact events and so it was that good for me. It was everything. And that's why I was in South Africa, and I was so excited. I'm still excited about everything that happened in the summit until I came to the airport and missed my flight. Yo guys. Okay, so 4:30, actually 4:20 came. Then I went up on the second floor where the security gates are. You have to go through the security gates, then you're going on the other side and of the airport, it's literally the same building, but it's separated. Like, you can't go on the other side without going through security checks. That's where they check if you're carrying like dangerous goods, flammables, a lot of maybe over 100 milliliter liquids, and just maybe weapons and all those things. So I went through the security gates, but when I got there, I wish I even took a picture. I found like maybe 400 people in a queue. I remember very well asking nicely the people in that queue so I can cut the queue, because I knew I was running out of time. Very ironic that I was in the airport yet running out of time. I did go through the security checks, didn't have any problems. I went to immigration, my passport was stamped like I'm departing South Africa, and then I went to the boarding gates. Yo, I found the boarding gate closed. It says up there on the board, Windhoek closed. At that point, I begin to slightly panic, and then I look through the glass. The airport is literally made out of glass. I'm seeing the plane there. The airline plane is outside, and you know you can't get through that gate to go to the plane. It has already closed, and it's like Taingongora already preparing to take off. Yo, I'm panicking because it's Friday. I'm expected to be at work on Monday. That's my biggest problem. And anyways, I start thinking, not very clearly, but I was thinking that I need to get on a plane. I saw some Namibians in the queue, and I actually spoke to them. So I thought we were going on the same plane. And when I saw them there, I thought, cool, my plane is still here. It seems they were waiting for a different plane from even a completely different airline. Never mind. So I go up there and speak to the people that I found there, like officers that are wearing reflectors and airport uniforms. I asked them, I've missed my plane, what must happen? Someone says, no, just run quickly upstairs, which is back to the other side where the charging ports were, because that's where the booking offices are, to book another flight. Because once you meet your flight, you've forfeited that ticket, there's no refund. You have to find money to buy another ticket. So it's not a nice thing, it's not fancy. It's actually terrible. Anyways, so I'm thinking, let me just go up. Let me go up as quickly as I can to get myself a flight. Maybe the one that the other Namibians are waiting for. So I ran. I was wearing my Namibian sneakers. And I had a backpack and then my handbag. My luggage had already been checked in. So I'm running. I'm like, at this point, I'm not caring about the luggage. You know, luggages, you can always recover it. You just talk to the airline, you have your tickets, or what is this, the boarding pass will have your reference, and then they can get it to you even if it's days later. So my worry was just getting to Namibia. And the next day, I was supposed to be in Swakopmund for an event where I was going to do something for mental health. Jesus Christ. And I run. When I run, the immigration officer stops me and says, ma'am, you can't go back this way. You are outside South Africa. I'm like, what? I mean, I didn't ask him. I was just like, what? Because I'm standing on South African soil in the airport. What does it mean I'm outside South Africa? Later, someone told me that is no man's land. It still doesn't make sense. Whoever did the colonizing and put borders and what knew what they were doing. Because this is hard. It was making it hard. Because had I gotten through, I would have gotten on the other flight that day. But, well, I didn't. So I ran back up because he said, look for the airlink officers, which are the officers from the airline that I was supposed to come with, and have them bring you back in the country through immigration. I ran back. The counter is closed, so there is no one. And that time, maybe 45 minutes have already passed. I'm like, what the heepa? There was Namibians from that were attending an energy week. One gentleman came up, and you know the unity of Namibians, we didn't even greet each other. He just saw that I was having problems with my plane and all that, and he could see how the staff was not helpful. They were shrugging their shoulders and said, there's nothing we can do. Just wait for those people from Airlink, really. And I'm like, for how long? We don't know, but just wait for them. So I'm there, sweating as hell, because I've run up and down the stairs twice without being helped. And I'm thinking, I've missed the plane. I've missed the chance to go on the other plane. Where am I even going to sleep? How am I going to leave the airport? I mean, if I was in Namibia, I would have just taken a taxi. Here, it's not that simple. You think of your safety. You think about, is the person reliable? Because you don't know them. Hey. Anyways, we tried with my very good Namibian colleague who I met at the airport, who was trying to fight for me as if he knew me. Thank you, sir. And I didn't get helped. So I had to wait for the airline officers. They finally came with my suitcase and they took me in through immigration. And then I came to the counters where the booking offices for the airlines are. That day, the only airlines that I know fly to Namibia is Airlink and Fly Namibia. I was told SA Airways no longer flies to Namibia. I'm not sure that is true, but that's what I was told. Anyways, I asked, when is the next flight? They said, we have one on Saturday, because it was a Friday, and one on Sunday. I'm like, can I get a seat? They check on the system and they say, ma'am, we are sorry, all these flights are booked to capacity. Hey. Anyways, I'm like, when else is there a flight? They said, no, there's a flight on Monday, but it goes through Johannesburg. That means buying 2 plane tickets, one from Cape Town to Johannesburg and another from Johannesburg to Namibia. So even the price was reflective of that. They were like, and that is for 7,000 rands. Hey, I didn't even hear the remaining. There were some hundreds at the back of that 7,000. I'm just like, what? Because a one-way ticket to Namibia does not cost 7 grand. And if I add what I'm going to eat, where I'm going to sleep for the next 3 days, from Friday, Saturday, Sunday to Monday. And remember, I was here on a fully paid trip. I have $0 on me. I know I don't look it, but that's the thing. The bank account balance is not written here. Anyways, at that point, there was no smiles in me. I'm just panicking because I'm thinking about home. I haven't told anyone. I don't have a SIM card. I am using only the limited airport Wi-Fi. I need to call my boss. It's after 5. I need to make a way for the people in the course that are expecting me. Guys, it was crazy. It was crazy. I'm still in the airport waiting for my plane today, which is Wednesday, because at that counter I finally could get a flight, but it was only for Wednesday. So it's Friday and someone is telling you the flight that you can afford, at least that I could afford, because the price of the ticket depends on how soon are you departing from the date of booking. So meaning if I booked this a month in advance, it will be much cheaper. But since I'm booking with only a few days in between, it's very, very expensive. And budget, guys, it was not giving. So I'm not sure I can tell you how much I paid for that ticket. It's still a lot of money, but at least it was coming close to you can afford it, and then you can go home and sort out everything else that is just not going well because of this one incident. So, and I paid for the ticket. I'm in the airport because if I leave, I don't even know how I'm gonna come back to the airport. So the rule in my head was, don't leave the airport without an assurance of how you're gonna come back. Because what's the point of going? Look for accommodation and then you still don't know how you are going to go back home. Sharp. That day, I was grateful to so many things, and one of them is my supervisor at work. I panicked. I picked up my phone and contacted him. I was like, sir, I've run into a crisis. I don't think I'm coming to work on Monday. All the planes are booked. And obviously, I knew what it meant. If you work, you know what the work ethic that you are expected to be at work. And if you can't come, you have to communicate. And if not, this can become a very serious disciplinary thing. And in this economy or in any other world, guys, you don't want to do that and risk your job. So that's the first order of business. You report to work. And we work Monday to Friday from 8 to 5. And I made that call after 5. I was so grateful that that call was picked up, and I was like, he heard me out, man. Like, obviously everybody's like, how did this happen? There's so many questions. Like, some people are even saying maybe I made it all up, which is sad. I'm like, if you've never missed a flight, I'm really happy for you, and I don't wish it happens, because it happens like in a blink of an eye, and the consequences, there's no one telling. There's financial implications, there's things that have to do with timelines that are affected, other commitments are affected. Hey, let's not talk about money, because and there you are panicking, and it's different for me. Like, I experienced it while I'm in a foreign country, and I don't feel like I know this place. I don't know even where to go, where to start, and all that. Anyways, I was comforted by knowing that at least at work, I was understood. I ended up obviously writing the formal emails, and we will handle it once I'm back in the office. But I needed to just acknowledge that, because it made me panic less, knowing that I'll still have a job when I go back home, that missing this flight that I have communicated, I will not be, like crucified for it. And then I had to call home so that my family can know I'm not coming. They were all expecting me. I know my mother tried to call me, and she was panicking, thinking something is wrong. She's even telling me, Anwanta kwa iko kasho, she thought something terrible had happened. Like, she thought maybe I have died, I'm in a foreign country, and she doesn't have WhatsApp, so we haven't spoken the whole period that I'm here. And then I had to make a plan for the event in the coast, which I shot a video that I've already uploaded. Guys, it was a lot. And then I had to now contact people. I'm so happy I know people, and those people are really helpful. Someone helped me get accommodation for one night. Someone helped me get accommodation for the rest of the night. And I'm like, just to show me around the safe areas and the what and the what and the what. And then they showed me things I could do while I'm waiting for the day. And really, I think that sums up about what happened. So I've been trying not to look like my problems, like not to allow myself to be like maybe slightly depressed by the incident, because I feel like it has already happened and there's not much I can do. Once something happened, you now just learn how to move past it. So that's what I've been doing. I know some people look at me and they are like, Marash is having the best time of her life. Maybe she wanted it to happen. It's really not what happened. But yes, I will acknowledge that after that day, I had a major headache, I think from stress. And then the next day I woke up with a heavy headache again. But then that was Saturday. From Sunday on, I've really just tried to leave. And I've gone to the nearest mall. I went to the nearest beach. I walked there a distance of over 8 kilometers. I'm very proud of myself. The walk also helped. I felt like it was therapeutic, like exercising. And then I just, saw a few places. I wasn't having money, but you don't need money to see places. I was walking. I didn't even have money for a lot of taxi. The side where I was is considered fairly safe in South Africa, but it's not to say I was walking around aimlessly or without being conscious of my surroundings. But and like I said, if you're seeing this, I've made it home. And thanks for watching, man. I just wanted to put this one here, and I'm telling you, missing a flight is terrible. And I was just thinking, what could have happened if I was not in a SADC country, because some of those countries you need visas, and your visa sometimes is very specific that by this time you must be out of the country, and that I wasn't also in a far place. Like if I was in Europe, you would need like maybe 30 grand to come back just for a ticket, so yeah, I think that's what happened. I wanted to document it, and thanks for watching. If you watched all the way up to here, yeah, if I upload this video, I'm safely back at home, and I'm really grateful for each and every one of you here. And from here you can expect some more content coming, mostly maybe centered around the project, trying to implement the lessons I learned at the African Youth Summit. And yeah, voila guys. Yeah, the airport is like glass like that, so you can see through. That's how I could see my plane on the other side, but I couldn't go to it.